Hello and welcome to this video where I'm going to be talking about why I prefer to watch anime dubbed. The sub versus dub argument has been around for decades, probably ever since anime came over to the West, and honestly, I've always thought it was kind of stupid. Many people seem to think that watching anime in Japanese makes them superior or something. It really doesn't, and just believing that makes you an asshole. It's all a matter of personal choice, and I don't think anybody's preferences can really be wrong in this case. And since my preference seems to be fairly rare in the anime community, I decided to come on here and give a few reasons about why I like dubs more. And the first reason is that I hate reading. I hated it when I was a kid, and I hate it now. There's nothing more boring to me than sitting down and reading words. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, wait a minute, you've got a lot of first impressions videos on your channels, and those anime don't have a dub. And yes, okay, I watched those anime subbed because I had to. You might also notice I have a somewhat sizable manga collection behind me, and in order to get through many of these stories, you have to read the manga because they're not adapted into an anime. Berserk, for example, only got up to about volume 10 in the anime, so in order to get the rest of the story, you have to read the manga, and I'm honestly happy to do that because Berserk has an amazing story. There are also many anime that don't have an English dub, so in order to experience shows like Aria and Aoihana, which I absolutely love by the way, I kind of have to stick with subtitles for that. If it's my only option, I will read subtitles, but if given the choice, I will choose the English dub almost every time. Now, I will admit, dubs do have a lot of flaws, which is the reason why many people decide to go with the original Japanese version, but the thing is, I don't really care about a lot of these flaws. One of the common problems that comes up a lot is bad translations. When translating an anime from Japanese to English, you're going to have to make a few changes in order to make it fit with a Western audience, but sometimes the dubbing studios tend to go a bit overboard and make changes that are completely unnecessary.
Have you got a stick up your ass? Or are you one of those dumbass Gamergate creep shows?
While this can be annoying, as long as the important elements are there, like the story is intact and the characters are pretty much the same, this doesn't really bother me. Another common flaw is that the voice acting is usually of a lower quality in the English release, and I definitely agree with this, especially when it comes to older anime, but again, this is something that I don't really care about. I grew up in the 90s, which was the era of the mediocre dub, so I can pretty easily put up with bad English voice acting. Okay, reason number 3. English dubs cater to my short attention span. And yes, this is kind of a stupid reason, but hear me out. With every form of entertainment that I partake in, whether it be anime, films, video games, what have you, I often end up getting distracted and I end up thinking things like, you know, I wonder what the weather's like today. When watching an anime subbed, I have to pause the video, go off, check whatever I want to check on the internet, and then come back and unpause it, which I find kind of annoying. But when watching anime dubbed, I can just leave it running in the background when I'm doing my thing. Hell, when I was writing the outline for this video, I had a dubbed anime playing in the background. It can be very difficult for me to put all my focus into one thing, so anime dubs are perfect for me. And the final reason I've got is that watching anime dubbed helps me get into the more comedic moments. With drama, it doesn't matter if it's in English or in Japanese, the emotional moments are still going to hit me, but with comedy, it's a completely different story. Reading out the joke that's written at the bottom of the screen doesn't really have the same impact on me as someone actually telling me the joke. Because of this, jokes are usually way funnier to me in English. Another thing is that a big part of comedy is the facial expressions and the body language that the characters exude, but when I'm staring at the bottom of the screen reading out all these words, I usually miss a lot of that. So when watching a comedy anime, it's almost a necessity for me to watch the dub in order to fully appreciate it. And that's it. That's why I like dubs more than subs. Now, I get that my reasons might not have been overly compelling. In fact, some of them are a little bit shallow, I will admit. But being that this is all about personal preference, I don't think I can really have a wrong opinion. At least I hope not. So anyway, thank you very much to everybody who watched this video. If you have any feedback, feel free to leave a comment. And if you like this video and want to see more, feel free to subscribe as well. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.